Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing my final poll check-in for a lot of the top battleground states in the 2024 presidential election. Without further ado, getting into the video. Right now on the electoral map on Real Clear Politics, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have 212 electoral votes. Donald Trump and JD Vance have about 219. There are a few states that I'm skeptical to call really toss-up states, but the polling data has moved a little bit towards Trump's direction, so I want to go over them before getting into the battlegrounds. Starting with the state of Minnesota and its 10 electoral votes. Minnesota right now on the RCP average has dipped just below 5%, so it would no longer be considered a likely Democratic state under 5% using the margins of 1 and under being tilt, 1 to 5 being lean, 5 to 15 being likely, and 15 over being safe. So Minnesota would actually now become a lean Democratic state. So that was just a change I wanted to announce that is what is going on in Minnesota. A similar story is happening in New Hampshire, where a few polls have come out showing the race with Harris still in a lead. Definitely Harris still leading in New Hampshire, but now the RCP average is now at 4%, following the Rasmussen poll at +1, and the Emerson poll, Harris +3, along with St. Anselm +5 and UMass Lowell +7. Harris is now at 49.8. Trump is at 45.8. That would be a 4-point lead for Harris. I certainly expect Harris will still win the state of New Hampshire, but now it is a lean Democratic lead and not a likely one. So Harris and Walz with the lean states start off at 226. Trump and Vance start out with 219. Now we're into the remaining battleground states, the 7 key states we've been watching this election cycle. Starting out west with the state of Nevada. Nevada and its 6 electoral votes. This is going to be one of the closer states in the country for sure. Donald Trump now has a 1.5% lead in the RCP average, helped out a lot by a new poll from Susquehanna, where Trump was leading by 6 points, 50 to 44, a very large lead for Trump in this poll. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see until Election Day how Nevada actually ends up going, but Atlas had Trump +4, Rasmussen Trump +2, Emerson had Harris +1, Susquehanna Trump +6. So it seems to be the trend out of recent polls is the race is either tied or Trump leading. All except for 2 had Trump ahead. 2 did have Harris up 1 though, so certainly showing it is a very close race. But at 1.5, based on the final polls, that would put Nevada into the lean Donald Trump column. I'm not saying the races are over in any way, shape, or form. For instance, if a state is lean Trump, that doesn't mean Harris can't win it. She certainly can. And if a state is lean Harris, it doesn't mean Trump can't win it. Certainly possible. I'm just telling you what the polls show right now and what the final rankings are based on the polls going into Election Day. So that was the state of Nevada. Now looking at the state of Arizona. Arizona and its 11 electoral votes. Right now, Donald Trump is a 2.3% lead in the RCP average going into Election Day. New poll from Noble Predictive Insights had Trump up 1. Atlas Intel had Trump +4. Rasmussen Trump +2. The trend in Arizona has been Trump leading in every single poll except for Harris being up in the CNN poll and tied in the Bloomberg poll. So the trend certainly suggests Trump is favored to win Arizona and will likely do so at 49.2 to 46.9. That's where Arizona ends up on the polls. That would put Arizona also into the lean Donald Trump column based on the polls right now. Now looking at the state of Georgia and its 16 electoral votes. Final check-in for Georgia. Georgia right now, Trump has a 2.6% lead here. Trump, a new Atlas Intel poll, Trump is up 2. Rasmussen, Trump is up 5. CNN has Trump +1. Trafalgar has Trump +2. Marist is a tied race. And the rest all have Trump leading as well. Georgia is a state that certainly is going to be very close, but it looks like Trump is starting not to pull ahead, but get a little bit of a larger lead going into Election Day at 2.6%. Very confident Trump is going to win the state of Georgia and its 16 electoral votes, putting that into the lean Trump column. Trump is now at 252. Harris and Walz are at 226 based on the final polls. Now we're going to check the state of North Carolina, which was very, very close the last time I checked a few days ago. And now Trump is up by 1.5% over Kamala Harris. Still a very, very close race, 1.5%, well under the margin of error for sure. But a slew of new polls from Atlas Intel has Trump +4, that's over the margin of error. Rasmussen, Trump +3, that's right in line with it. 2.9 for Trafalgar, again right in line with the margin of error. Fox News, a 1-point race. CNN, a 1-point race. So Trump is leading in the RCP average in North Carolina is now up to 1.5. But this is certainly still a very, very tight race, a very competitive race that we're going to have to wait and see on Election Day and how it goes. but at 1.5% in the RCP average, that would also put North Carolina into the lean Donald Trump column. Trump is now at 268, Harris and Walz at 226. Trump is on the verge at breaking 270, but there's still 3 states remaining, and they're all the Rust Belt states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And we have a very interesting development happening in Wisconsin, where the polls right now, after a mayor's polls come in for Harris +2, Atlas Intel has the race tied, American Greatness and TIPP has it tied, Insiders Trump +1, CNN has Harris +6. This is a very, very close race where it's 48.4 for Harris, 48.2 for Trump. Insanely close. Truly can go either way on election night. And the polls getting very, very close. Harris did pull ahead the last time before the video around October 28th. Now, let's say Harris is pulled ahead by 0.2%. Very, very close in Wisconsin. Based on this rating, this would put Wisconsin into the tilt Kamala Harris, Tim Walz column. 236 for Harris and Walz. Trump and Vance, 268. Very close in Wisconsin. Now looking at the state of Michigan, and it's 15 electoral votes right next door. Michigan is now a 0.8% lead for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump, 48.3 to 47.5. This is a lot more in line with what I think a lot of the expectations were for Michigan, which is the most democratic of the 3 battleground Rust Belt states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So Harris leading here, I think, certainly makes a lot of sense. And even though I did have it in my own personal prediction going for Trump, the polling data seems to be shifting at the end that Harris is now up to a 0.8% lead, which would be a tilt lead for Kamala Harris. But the momentum in Michigan seems to be going Harris's way. I would not be shocked one bit if on election night Harris narrowly pulled out a victory in the state of Michigan. But again, we're going to have to wait and see and count the votes tomorrow. But right now, Harris is up to a 0.8% lead in Michigan. This would put Michigan's 15 electoral votes as tilt for Kamala Harris. Now it's 251 for Harris and Walz, 268 for Trump and Vance. The entire 2024 presidential election comes down to the state of Pennsylvania and its 19 electoral votes. This is one that is absolutely so close, so important. It will pick the president. And right now, Donald Trump has a lead of 0.4% that has actually gotten closer in the last few days. The last time I did this, I believe it was 0.8 for Trump. Now it's down to 0.4. 48.2 for Trump, 47.8 for Harris. A USA Today Suffolk poll that came out has it as a tie. Atlas Intel is Trump +1. Marist is Harris +2. Washington Post, Harris +1. Rasmussen +2 for Trump. Fox +1. Insider +1. Quinnipiac +2. Pennsylvania, like it's been the entire election, is so incredibly close. There's plenty of undecided vote left to make this state go either way. This is going to be the one to watch for of all the states on election night. So incredibly close. Truly a jump ball in Pennsylvania. Based on the 0.4%, that would be enough to give it to Donald Trump in the tilt Republican column. So based on the final RCP polling averages in all the battleground states, Trump and Vance get 287 electoral votes. Harris and Walz get 251. The polls are certainly closer than they were a few days ago, the last time I did this, where Trump and Vance are now at 287, Harris and Walz are at 251. The momentum actually has been going up for Harris, especially in Wisconsin, in Michigan, and Trump's lead getting smaller in Pennsylvania. In the Rust Belt, the momentum has been on Harris's side. In the other battleground states like Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, the momentum has been on Trump's side. And it's very interesting and usually abnormal for the battleground states, most of them, to not vote the same way. So it's interesting that the trend for Harris in the Rust Belt has been positive, but the trend for Trump in the battlegrounds and the rest of the part of the country has been positive for Trump. So it's very interesting. Obviously, we're not going to know until the votes are all counted on election night, which is just one day away now. Can you believe it? So we're going to have to count the votes, see how those go. If you have not yet done so, make sure you get out and vote tomorrow. This election is so incredibly close, and your vote very well may be the difference between your preferred candidate winning or losing. So make sure you get out and vote. Final poll check-in, Trump-Vance 287, Harris and Walz 251. Now we just wait for election day. That'll do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day. So I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.